Good morning, initiates. We're here, we're ready to rock and roll. I don't think we can hear the music anymore. We'll keep it super low. We've got our good vibes cup action going on today. You know, I don't even know if that's the vibe I want. I love whatever mix this is, though. Stop a like on that. It's very pretty. I feel like it's a little too dramatic for the vibe I'm trying to capture right now. I'm trying to capture some kind of vibe, and it seems to be escaping me. And if that doesn't say anything about what this energy read is going to be about, then I don't know what. Let's be real. We're getting in it. We need something. Honestly, you know what I think we might need? Oh, I really do like that, though. It's just not where I'm trying to be. You know? Maybe we don't need music right now, then. Maybe I'm being too codependent. Ooh, we're in a mood. The perfect time to be doing tarot. Just checking all my audio. I'm sure you can hear that fan in the background. That's fine. It's hot. We have many storms brewing right now. We've got hurricanes. We've got microbursts. I know yesterday we had a cute little afternoon shower. I missed it. It was beautiful afterwards. As a water sign, I feel like I've been inclined more towards the storms, the rain, the chaotic energy that is a storm. And I feel like there is some chaos afoot. And I want to reiterate that chaos is not inherently bad. And I think I'm telling myself that more than anything. It can be scary, though, like tower moments, you know, but we're always, quote unquote, going through a tower moment. Any slight change mix-up can be considered a tower moment. It's how you want to handle it, how you want to perceive it. I myself, having been diagnosed BPD, everything feels like a tower moment. Let's get this going. Listen, we did. Let's start this off with how the morning's gone. I've been awake for less than 2 hours. I woke up feeling kind of meh. Very strange, very, can't remember what my dreams were. But I knew I had them. Yesterday's energy was phenomenal. Today, not so much. And I'm like, what's the holdup? What's going on? What's weird? What do we got? It is time to consult the orb, Pots. 100%. The cosmic forces, even. I hope you hear. This is for you. It's for all of us right now. I feel like there's something. And I took a shower this morning. which that already threw off the planned schedule that I had for myself, because I'm like, I'll do my tarot, I'll do my workout, and then I'll shower. But I woke up and I said, I've got to get these webs off of me right now. That's what it felt like. It felt like spider webs. I haven't seen my cat in over 24 hours. I'm very concerned. It's not even my cat. He's a stray that I decided to feed and lovingly let into our home. I am worried though, but being a stray cat, I have to trust that he's gonna figure it out. I'm really letting the demons win today. See, I'm already setting the tone. Already setting the tone. Good vibes. This wasn't even the cup I wanted to use. I thought about using my Britney Spears cup, but for some reason this one said, use me. And I said, I guess. Oh, okay. I've got my runes out. My bones have been rattling for a couple of days now. I usually... These are fun. So these are rune stones. If you're unfamiliar, they are Elder Futhark divination stones. Each with a Futhark character, one being blank for the unknowable. Clanka. What Clanka behavior? We're rattling today, boys! So, these rune stones are very sick. They are made of animal bone, and they are stained with tea and animal blood. Just some background on these. I think I acquired these back in 2020, actually. I remember. I want to pull a couple of these. They don't... These are a wild set. They have some personality to them. Let's take a deep breath. Alright. What we got? These are really gonna help me set the tone, I think. I feel like I'm coming into this already biased, and I'm trying my hardest not to. Listen, I've got my sage going, I've got incense, I've got oils, I've got the hell light on, which is a little discombobulating. But, we're in it. We're gonna see what happens. Oh, perfect. Thank you. I don't think I'll use them today, but you like how small the chat screen is on the side there? I really didn't know what I was doing. I had to fight with this camera today already. It's almost like I got into a fight with myself. Alright. Let's see. We were fighting with camera angles. We were fighting. Aleister Crowley's got my back. Oh. This is kind of cool. I do like this little setup here going on. This is neat. And I like the way the glare is hitting that one. Now, Elder Futhark. Great. Great form of divination. So let's pull up our handy dandy notebook here. It already knew what I wanted. Excuse me? Catch up. What the hell? It's just being weird. Alright. Alright. I need music. There's something is truly amiss in this moment for me right now, and I am not 100% sure what it is. You know what? I like the energy of this one. Alright. Let me know how that sounds. Let's get you back up. Let's get you back up. Alright, perfect. Mute this real quick. I'm gonna see how this sounds. Sure. Works for me. That's good stuff. Maybe it's my headphones. Maybe they're making me feel blocked in. Which could be the case. Alright. These two are very close together. Okay. Alright, let's get into these runes real quick. I'm curious. Perthro. It represents a dice cut. And when you think of that, it's more so like the gambling aspect of fate, chance, mystery, destiny, secrets. Ooh. That checks out. There's been a lot of uncertainty. There's always uncertainty when you are... Oh, something is... Hang on. There's a lot going on. You know what? No. I'm gonna focus. Uncertainty. It's always gonna be around us. First and foremost. That's fine. You're not supposed to know everything. You're supposed to take a chance. You're supposed to gamble. You're supposed to flirt with fate. Right? How fun is it really supposed to be if you know everything that's going to happen? Jera represents the year. Cute! Cycles, completion, changes, harvest, reaping, rewards. We are slowly, rapidly approaching the new month of September. The autumn equinox is right around the corner in about a month. I personally am about to hit a year mark in a very symbolic time of change. And harvesting, there has been a lot of reaping what you sow, planting seeds, setting intention for the things that you're hoping to manifest. So, like, that checks out. Because of this uncertainty. That's where magic really comes in, I think. It's because, like, we will always be in a state of being uncertain, of being confused, of being outside of us, at least. Because there's only, again, so much that we can control. But we can set our intentions. We can set, you know, what we wish to happen, our wishes, our prayers. So that also makes sense too. And it's really about being forward and clear cut with what it is that you're trying to do, what you want to see. If there is... Think about that episode of Rick and Morty. I think that's what, season 3? Episode 2? Or no, I think it's episode 1. It's when they come back from the party, no, so that's season 2. And they fracture reality because of uncertainty. I really like that episode because it kind of checks out. It falls into that parallel universe type, multiverse type, you know, anything that can and will happen has already happened type. Don't know why that was relevant, but it was because I said so. Burkana. Birch tree. Femininity, fertility, healing, regeneration, and birth. Also kind of symbolic when you pair it with the Wheel of the Year. Because, yeah, I hear you in that. But I mean, that's something beautiful. Like, when they say the possibilities are endless, the possibilities are the possibilities. And I think right now, a lot of people are really trying to engage themselves in their healing era. I think the idea has been a little misconstrued because you've labeled it as something, oh, I'm in my healing era, blah, blah, blah. You have now disconnected and dissociated yourself from that. So it goes back into that verbiage of, I am healing. If you say you're in your healing era, for some reason, that to me that's fine. If that's how you feel it, that's whatever. But for me personally, when I say I'm in my healing era, I have now written a narrative, but I'm not living in that narrative in that moment. When I tell myself I am healing, that is an action. That is something that I am in. Something that I am present in. When we talk about like fertility and femininity and birth, I mean that energy I do feel like is kind of prominent because we are entering the end of the year, that we're entering the end of the wheel, really. It's about to start getting cold. The bears going into hibernation, the animals, whatever, but this is such a good indicator of a time of rest. That's how I'm picking that up as. You're taking your short rest. I am in my carb queen era, thank you. But that checks out. You're regaining your strength, buddy. How can you keep coming up with ideas? How can you keep engaging? How can you keep executing your manifestations if you don't allow yourself to heal, regenerate, whatever, recuperate, however you want to put it? So, however long that, again, I don't think that is its own plot in time. That definitely feels more of like a background track that needs to be consistent with a little bit of forward perception from time to time. I think that's what's happening, is there's so many in the collective that are on that railroad right now, and like as hive mind dictates, we feel that. And I think that this has been a very interesting year to be going through that. So, and like especially with social media and stuff like that, kind of pushing a lot of these ideations, like that seed is in your brain no matter what. So whatever you choose to water, choose to nurture, that's on you. However you feel your healing looks like, that's a very personal thing to go through. Mine has been ironic. No, it's not ironic, because if you know me, you know me. My healing era has been very destructive. But that, in my head, gives a clean slate to build on top of. But it's mindful destruction, not just straight chaotic. It's a controlled destruction in a controlled environment. Because it's like, the way I see it, I've engaged in self-destructive behaviors before. I'm doing quite well. On the outside looking in, it might not look that way, but I know from my experience, We're doing all right. I agree with that. You can't live your life if you treat it as a disconnected aspect of your life. And I feel like so many of us are unaware of how dissociative we've truly become to ourselves. I'm not going to blame social media, but the hint is there. The hint is truly there. And I just don't think we're engaging the way we want to. There's a perceived notion of how we should be mindful and how we should be engaging versus what we know that actually feels like. Rewording it as self-constructive teardown, that's a good way of looking at it. Truly. Only because when you hear self-destruction, you think of something that has negative connotations. But when you reword it as self-constructive teardown, it's a little bit more lighthearted. It's a little bit more playful. And that in and of itself sets intent. I really vibe with a well-supported breakdown can become a breakthrough. I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I am incredibly supported. I am incredibly blessed. I was doing this pre-stream cleanse, as you would say. And I really sat in there and I said my blessings, I said my gratitudes, and I kind of held myself a little bit, and I was like, this is fine. Everything's fine. And guess what? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Except my coffee's almost empty already. So we can ponder that a little bit. Alright, the decks that I have chosen today. We have our Neon Moon deck. Sorry, I've been fighting with this camera all morning. So if it's a little fuzzy, my apologies. It might be because these are up front. It's like, I want to focus on this. We have the Neon Moon. We have our Halloween Oracle. I've really been into going into this one, especially with us coming into the autumn months soon. Plus, it's just got good energy. And I did choose a secondary Oracle deck. Okay, they're wisdom cards. I haven't used this one in a hot minute, but this will give us some good keywords. So honestly, I think we will start with that one for right now. Yeah. I'm feeling that. I'm fighting something right now. Something's fighting me. I don't know if I'm winning. This deck is unique. I really enjoy it. One, it comes with a free rock. In the box itself, it says, drift on the wind to sow seeds of compassion and wisdom in this dream. The focus is killing me. I'm fixing this right now. I turned off. I'm mad. I guess that's better. Oh, chatty. Alright. Watch my terrible shuffling action going on. I want you up front. Thank you. I said I'm in it. I feel shaky. I feel buzzy. I feel energetic, I guess. Not grounded. I don't feel super grounded. And it's like, I went through all the motions, why aren't I truly feeling it? And I'm like, well, maybe this is just where we need to be right now. That's okay. Whoa, Nelly. I didn't ask for that. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I wish you could see it. What? Alright. You know what? Fine. Fine. Oh, that took away so much of my workspace, though. Alright, Alistair Crowley, I'm gonna need your help for just a second. Alright. I thought by having that... Crowley! Work with me here. Huh! Crowley. This is so funny. Alright. You move. You move. I'm done with you. Crowley, act right. That's so funny. Alright. I feel a little bit better about that. Not quite where I wanted it, but... my grounding rod. This is a really pretty picture. It's... Like I said, this deck is a accumulation of 4 different artists, 4 different art styles. Some very decorative, very artsy, some very minimalistic. The dragon is really kind of what's pulling me in right now. It's telling me to play Mists of Pandaria. Alright, and this one... Oh! Where's my cat? I miss my cat. Hang on. Let's think about this for a second. I'm very saddened. Maybe that's him telling me that he's fine and I need to quit worrying about him. I'm gonna trust. Maybe someone in the neighborhood picked him up and is getting him fixed, literally. Alright, let's see what the book says about these guys. This is funny. This is so funny. I love when synchronicities like that happen. Because it's just, it's affirming. Truly. Earthing. Sending your etheric cords into our borrowed home for stability via direct contact with the ground. They are always supporting you with unconditional love. The feeling of being grounded invokes a sense of being held and protected. Here we go. Are you ready for a curious adventure ahead? Trust that you are safe to wonder what lies in the mysterious unknown. I love that. Because we forget. I feel like a lot of us are truly built on this survival instinct. And in this healing era that we are trying to invoke and finding ourselves in, it is so hard to unlearn that. Truly. You know, and this is a really good reminder that it's like, hey, in order for change to happen, change has to occur in order for it to happen. And the easiest way to do that is to start in your mental. You know? And if you want to keep saying that, oh, well, I'm just built like this, or blah, 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 that's cool. That's your seed. Start planting different seeds. It's scary. It's supposed to be. I want to take that back. It's exciting. It's exciting. And if we're planting new seeds that we're not used to, I don't know what's gonna grow out of it. I mean, shit, you can go to the store right now. Well, probably not right now. Well, I guess depending on where you are. And you can buy seeds that say, oh, I'm going to grow this. And cool. You can have that expectation that you're going to grow all this, and this. But still, if you don't tend to that garden, ain't nothing coming out of that ground. How healthy is that plant going to be? You start with your foundation. You start with your body, you start with your mental, you start with your spirit. This is such a cute card. 26, 26, 26. These are unironically so connected to each other. Breathe, rest, come back to nature and feel unconditional love from the Divine Mother holding you. Observe those in the animal kingdom as they regulate their bodies with rest and communion with their surroundings. When animals experience an event that brings fear, they use succussion or shaking of the body to release the discordance. Being present helps the body and mind be at ease rather than being in a swirling state of fear that can manifest as worry, guilt, anger, or shame. In the week that I have been taking care of this cat, I feel like there's a lot that I could be learning from him, that I was learning from him, am learning, even still. But I get that, though, with, you know, going outside, being bug mode, just movement in general helps release so much tension that is being built up in your body. And I think that's why, me personally, I put so much emphasis on working out, the fitness, you know, or even, just like I said, any kind of movement. As when I first started working out again, now it still happens to this day, I will have a huge crying session, honestly, because that release is so powerful. And that in and of itself is truly healing for me. I think crying is healing in general. Let's be real. That's primordial water right there. You know? And symbolically, that is the water of your garden. Just saying. So, maybe we just all need to have a big boohoo sesh for a minute. Let's all go do a bunch of jumping jacks. Let's go, like, exercise until our limbs fall off, and then cry it out. But that's cool. That's cool. I do enjoy that. Alright, let's get another oracle card from the Halloween deck. This is really just saying, like, hey, calm down. This was on the bottom. That's cute. Have a light heart. Quit being so serious about everything for once. That was me to myself. Oh, okay. Good vibe. Good mood. We're in it now. We're in something. At least it's not the sludge. At least it's not the molasses. Cool. I like where this is going so far. Not what I anticipated. Did I anticipate anything? No, not really. I just knew that something was afoot, and I wanted to find out what it was. Where were we? Where were we as a collective? Where should our focus be right now? As a collective, not necessarily on an individual basis. Feel free to message me for a personal reading. I do offer those with a fairly reasonable fee, depending on love donation, whatever. If anything, I will just start out with, if you feel like you want a reading, you want to donate, go for it. I'll set that up later though. I'm not too worried about all that in this current moment. Planting seeds, making pages. So hyped for Halloween, let's be real. I love the autumn months. Like, Halloween has always had a special place in my heart. Not only spiritual, but just mental. I love the shift. I love the feeling. I love the way the air changes, the way it feels, the way it tastes, the way it smells. It's just, oh, good stuff. It's my favorite part of the year. Alright. What else is going on? Tell me. Tell me where we is. I really hope everyone's having a good chill morning so far. I hope your caffeine is hitting you just right. I hope you're hydrated. I know allergies have been acting up for just about everyone. But changing of the seasons, it do be happening. I feel like I need to have these over here somewhere. We'll put... I'm still trying to figure out what's my actual workspace here. This is fine. I've been taking a lot of deep breaths. And like I'm catching myself doing it, which is good. That's a part of mindfulness. Breathe in your intention. Exhale the bullshit. I thought about using my Brittany cup today. I should have. I wanted to, and I don't know why I didn't. I don't know what happened. Like, in my head, I said, I'm going to grab this cup, and this is the cup that I want to use today. And then I didn't. I said, alright. First of all, rude. And I said, apparently, I just needed vaporwave palm trees and good vibes. Alright, what, are you gonna say anything to me? Am I just not focused enough? What do you want? You. I don't... No, not you. Nope, come back here. I seen ya. I seen ya. Whoa! Whoa! Hang on, hold the phone. I don't get this card very often. The Underworld. This ties into that cycle of life and death, that pausing, the rest, where all things pause and begin again. Very pretty. What about a second one for you? How do we feel about a secondary card from this deck? And then we'll get our tarot. I have been curious to do Apple. Remember how we got that last time? Risk and reward. I want sweet loot. I'm gonna have to get in there and earn it. I'm gonna have to risk my pride of not knowing how to run dungeons and figure it out. I think we're playing Miss Pandaria later. No. Trying to take care of myself. It looks so good. I couldn't let the apples go bad. But I do like both of these are, they're very mirroring of each other, with the one being fruit, the fruits of our labors. We were talking about planting seeds. I like that they're both dripping, you know. I know. That's really what I ought to be doing. But I don't want to do that by myself. I mean, I know I could probably find people to do it with, but... Well, they're juicy! They're dripping! Look at them, dude! This one's a little bit more ominous because it looks like blood, but, I mean, the blood of thy... I don't know why I'm shuffling more. I think another one wants to let us know, and then we'll deep dive into what these are asking us via the booklet. Like I said, I like the way this book presents its information, because it really does kind of ask some good questions. A little introspective, honestly. That's cool. I like those. I like how those connect. Alright, perfect. Ooh. God. Midnight coated again. What's going on? What's going on? I have been seeing quite a bit of midnight themed, and I'm not talking about our favorite corrupt.exe. I'm talking about just the concept of midnight in general. That 12 p.m. vibe, you know, that is the, like, start of the new day. I don't believe that, though. It's the start of the calendar new day. But midnight is such an interesting concept to me. Maybe it's because I've been staying up a little bit later. Quit saying Taco Bell. That's all I want. That's always all I want. It's Tuesday and she wants her Taco Bell. Oh, that's good though. What does this say? The most magical hour of all. And so, what's known as, like, the witching hours is, I personally would say, like, between the hours of 12 and 3 in the morning. 333 was always really important. 12 to 3 a.m. really feels like the dead of night. You start reaching 4 p.m. and that's like your twilight. You know, because people, like, the energy is kind of stirring around there. 4 p.m. is honestly true, or 4 p.m. 4 a.m. feels like the come down hour. But, yeah. So much happens, and we don't even realize this. Most of it, we should be sleeping, you know, but so much happens but even if you are sleeping and you're dreaming or you're in REM or whatever, a lot goes down between the hours of midnight to whatever. Very curious. I'm gonna pull a tarot for that one because I wanna know. I do appreciate the clocks though. I like how in the background it is backwards though. Huh. Same with the one on her neck. They're backwards. Very spooky. Yeah. This is midnight coded. God dang it, Elizabeth. Actually, you know what? I think the neon moon was perfect then for this this thing. I'm gonna preemptively pull a card for this one, and then we'll get into some tarot on its own, but because I do want to go into each of these. We already know what the apple means. Like, that's very clear cut. That whole risk and reward. You know, you've got to be able to risk it for the biscuit. You want something to change, you got to get out there and do it. I'll tell you what I told him. The pomegranate, I mean, that checks out, though. Pomegranate is, like, inherently makes me think of Persephone. Obviously. You know, if she can be the queen of the underworld and the queen of spring, why can't I? You know, we can be all these things. I love that. Alright. We have the Fool. Look at that dog. Oh, this is giving me an energy. Hang on. What is that telling me? This card is reminding me of someone in particular. And I'm trying to reminisce on what was going on during that time. Very interesting. It's that dog. You've got to have dreams. Have dreams. Be foolish. Be naive. Yeah, kind of quit taking everything so serious. It's not as serious as we're perceiving it. Is kind of what I'm getting here. That goes back to that healing, you know, when every move that you would make could have meant life or death. That's not the case now. We've got to let go of that notion that it is so serious. And I do love that this is the 0 card. This is truly a moment of birth, rebirth, however you want to see it. Like, coming back to a primordial sense of just coming back to oneself. Ooh, that gave me goosebumps. Alright. Ooh, hang on. Let's sit on that for just a second. There is nothing wrong with finding yourself back at square one. I just want to put that out there. I love Missa Pandaria Classic, now playable. I just so happened to look at the screen. That's stupid. Oh. Let me take that in for a second. That goes back into your foundations. Like, you know, each time you do find yourself back at ground zero or square one, like that is such a beautiful and magical moment to be. And with the Midnight card, that makes so much sense because Midnight is the reset button. You have the opportunity to reset. You can start over every single day at any point, but collectively we know that Midnight is boom, that's reset. You know, or that's the start of the reset. That's the start of the system reboot or the patching or the fucking server updates. Thank you, Blizzard, for reminding me that it was Tuesday. Alright, before I pull more tarot, let's read it into the underworld. I want to see what you've got for me. Where all things pause and begin again. Another realm shadow-filled, travel from death's bed, where we stop and transform within the realm of the dead. Beautiful flavor text. The idea of an underworld is a whole realm that we go to after we die, is a concept that crosses a huge variety of cultures and eras. The Sumerians, the Turkish, the Incas, the Greeks, through to the Siberians, the Maori, and the Khmers, all had a distinct word for the underworld. What is different, though, is how those cultures treat this concept, whether the underworld is seen as a place of rest and rejuvenation, or horror and punishment. How do you view, when you hear underworld, what do you think of? Do you think of, like, hell? Do you think of, like, that is an end zone? Or do you feel that is, like, me personally, it feels more like a purgatory type place, honestly. It is a place of rest. I mean, let's go further into this. Here we go. Many myths that mention the underworld often involve the concept of a place of waiting and trials and eventually judgment. It can also be a place of joy and peace. Okay. Should the underworld card be present in your reading, you are being asked to consider exactly what you have to do to transform your life into something you find easier or more authentic to you. This may involve changing course. It may involve trials and tests. I like this. Keep moving. While things may fall away and your life may appear bare for a time, this is temporary. Space is being made into which you can create the new. Very beautiful. I like where this is going. I think the reason I felt so frustrated about it, though, is because it's like, oh, I'm back here again. Oh, no, it's repetitive. It's redundant. Good. We've done it so many times. Mix it up. Do something different. Go somewhere different. Don't let it feel stale. You have the power to control you. You know? Alright, midnight. Allow yourself to relax into the benevolent darkness of midnight. You may feel this is your darkest hour, but know that the light will return again. The dawn always follows the darkest night. Know, too, that it is important to recognize that we all have darkness within us, just as we have light. And this isn't something to hide from. That checks out with the whole healing era, you know, unlearning, the grounding oneself, coming back to oneself, understanding that we were at a certain point then versus what that point looks like now. I know that we are all very grateful to be where we are. I know that. It might not be super apparent, but we are exactly where we are meant to be right here, right now. Everything that went wrong, has led us to this point, and it is exactly as it needs to be, exactly as it should. I love that. I truly love that. I like this Fool card. Let me take a peek at him. Oh, he's holding a rose. He's got his bags. He's ready to go. He's got $200 in a dream. Shh. Too apropos. Beginnings, adventure, and possibility. Here we go. Here's the flavor text for this card. Sure, I'm safe in here, but what life is best lived in safety without experience? I can feel the world out there calling for me to take part in it. Just the thought of the adventure I could be having. Why, I feel so light, I swear I could fly. Cool. Beautiful. I love that. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to have big ambitions and big goals. Maybe not to lock into, but just to have. You know, in the case of alternate realities, Everything that you can imagine doing, you are doing. Why my elbow look like that? You are doing it in some way, shape, or form. It might not look like the way you're imagining or the way you're dreaming, but everything starts at point zero, and you are there. You can consistently return to that point and change it. If there's a certain way you want something to look, you can always go back. And you can always give up on that too. And I don't mean that in a negative way, I mean that in a creative way. You know, if something just isn't sticking, if something just isn't vibing with you, change it. What consequence is there other than if you continue doing the same thing and you're fucking miserable about it? Alright. Enough of that. You'll never believe this, but my lips are so dry right now. Alright, so we're entering a state of gambling. Let's go gambling! Of really coming back in. Alright, beautiful. Love that. Not where I thought we were going to go, but I'm happy to be here. Honestly and truly, happy to be here. Let's shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Let's get some tarot, baby! And you know what? I love where this is sitting right now, so we're gonna... I like all of this. What I really want to get into then... Alright, so that's where we're at. That is where we're returning to ourselves. We're returning to that... I keep getting childlike wonder. That naivety. That wholesome, raw sense of self. And how we want to mitigate... navigate oh, I just got a flashback. We used to have these huge azalea bushes in our front yard, and we had like ligustrums on one side that made like a huge fence, and then we had these beautiful azalea bushes. And I remember being a kid, and there was like a hollow in this bush that was perfect. It made like a little cave, and I used to sit out there all the time, just hanging out. Or in the backyard, and in this really fun, in the corner, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees, and that became my castle. It was really cool, because I remember we had the wood for boarding up our windows for hurricanes, and I made walls out of them, but there were 2 trees that made like a doorway, and I had a table back there, and there were a shit ton of spiders, but it was so creative and imaginative, and I really want to tap back into that energy, honestly. I think we all do. I think there's an ache to return to that, and I think that's what we're trying to do. Not trying, we are doing. With these dreams, with these goals, with this grounding. I'm not telling you to go outside and be a bug. I'm just telling you to observe that feeling of what it was like. Alright, first of all, I didn't ask for that many. It's very lighthearted. I enjoy that. Hey, Lightheart was that card on the bottom of the Awake deck. I'm awake. Alright, so I'm shuffling without any kind of intent here. My question then is not necessarily how to move forward. I don't want to be told what to do right now. Weird. I thought that's what I wanted. I thought I worked better if I was just told what to do. What should I expect? No, that's not what I want either. Maybe we'll just draw some and see what they want to say. I have seen you... No, this one. The sun? I've seen you 3 times so far. And it's of a child looking at a bunch of screens with a sun and some flowers on it and a dog. Interesting. Childlike wonder. Childhood now is very different than childhood then. Obviously. It's always going to be that way. I asked a 10-year-old if they'd ever seen a Sega in real life, and they go, "What's that?" I said, You've hurt me." Interesting. This is giving me some kind of feeling right now. We've got the knives on the wall, the knives on the ground. I interpret the way that this looks 2 different ways. That could either just be lighting, the lighting of the card, or if we want to go a little bit darker, it is very reminiscent of blood, self-destruction. Meditative, controlled self-recreation. Ego death, even? Alright. Another rabbit. Very cool. Alright. This feels good for right now. Let's take these in for a second. I'm gonna go put my body water somewhere else. Let's take a moment. Alright. I'm curious about this one. The rabbit. Rabbit is good, rabbit is wise. Rabbit's telling me something right now. And no, I don't mean the 400 rabbits. I have a premonition. If my mother texts me today and tells me she's got 400 rabbits, I'm gonna scream. That would be very funny. Oh. I'll read that in a little bit. Was not expecting that so soon. Alright. Rabbit is good. Rabbit is wise. Tell me then what plan we should devise. Alright, so the sun. Kind of clear cut to the point. The imagery is wild to me, especially in this one, because it's the child staring at the screens, and the screens are showing them the sunflowers and the sun. They have a guardian dog. There's a protector there. And it almost makes me sad, this card, the way this card is presented. Like, I get it. And let's take this out of the literal sense, especially if you're a parent. Let's take this to our inner child and our sense of self. We are being force-fed, whether we want to or not, like, this idea of what happiness looks like. And there's a lot of hypocrisy, I think. I don't know if that's the right word I want to use, but it felt kind of right. Because it's like, happiness is a feeling. Feeling sunshine on your skin is a feeling. Duh. Go outside. I'm talking to you. For just a moment. You know what? That's your mission for today, or in the next couple of days. Just, I don't care for how long. It could be 2 seconds, but I want those to be the most mindful, slowest 2 seconds of your life, where you just sit and you feel it. I want you to feel the sun beating down on you, and I want you to just stand in it and let yourself absorb it. And then go reflect on how you felt. But I don't want it to be the, oh, I hate that. I want, we're in this period where we're allowed to transform our thoughts. So quit going back to your old way of thinking and try to pick out something new, even if it's one thing. Find one thing that you enjoyed out of that. That's why I said make it as slow as you possibly can. Really let yourself sit in it. Sit in those feelings. If you're uncomfortable with your feelings, figure it out. Those are your feelings to own. They're your feelings, our feelings, my feelings to own up to and rewire. Four of Arms. This one is giving me not the ick. He's in his Zen moment. There are papers in front of him. Is that a reference to another card? No, but they do look like news articles a little bit. Okay. Four of Swords, I think Arms is comparative to swords in this instance. We want to be over here. Once again, we are met with that rest. The key words to this: solitude, contemplation, recovery, and rest. We are being very heavily influenced to calm down for a second. And I appreciate that. I truly do. I feel like there is this go, 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 go energy, and it's like, I don't want to. My spirit, my soul is telling me, just calm down for a second. Like, a good example, today, I had it in my head. I said, I'm going to have this stream started by this time and blah, blah, blah. And when I woke up this morning, I said, I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe like 30 minutes later, but I started on time. Shooketh by that notion. But I think it's because I did let go of the idea that I had to do it at this time. Well, I told people, well, guess what? It happens. A wizard appears neither late or early, but exactly is when he should. Something along those lines. Whatever he said. But the swords. Alright, here's our flavor text though. Time, they say, heals all wounds. I've not found it to do that exactly, but it certainly does teach us to work around our injuries. That goes back into that self-healing. You know, there's trauma. There are things that have happened to us that are bad, that are not good, that are just, they have been seared into us in some way, shape, or form, whether mental scars, physical scars, whatever. And I feel like we're, as a collective, growing out of harboring those and using those to create our identity. And I think we're moving past, excuse me, past that point of letting it become our identity, because it's becoming so stale. It's as we're getting older, we're realizing that it's like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And, you know, being triggered, letting your traumas come up, that's gonna happen, and it does suck. And sometimes that button gets pushed to such an extreme that we do kind of revert and regress back to that point in time. And that's where the grounding comes in, and the techniques, you know, whichever way we want to handle when that comes up. If it means letting us be just a tiny bit self-constructive, to each their own. You know what your limits are. You know your coping tools. Maybe it's time to learn some new ones. Maybe it's as simple as, I need a nap. Think about that. Really think about what's your idea of rest? What is your feeling of rest? What truly makes you feel revitalized in the moment with yourself? Don't think about anyone else but yourself. I said it. Think about yourself for once. Not in some kind of egotistical way either. It's just like, you are you. You have nothing but you at the end of the day. What are you doing to truly take care of yourself? How are you expected to show up if you can't show up for yourself? Rabbits! Rabbit is good! Rabbit is wise! Alright. Hey, more roses! Hey, what the helly? Where are you laying? How is this picture even working? She's chill. She's got all this bullshit around her, but she's hanging out with her little rabbit! The rabbit is getting me. We're gonna pull that up real quick. I have like a general idea of what rabbits symbolize. I know they are heavily associated with fertility and birth again, but I know they're very symbolic of the moon. The moon. Rabbits are widely recognized as symbols of fertility, abundance, and new beginnings, stemming from their prolific breeding habits, which represent the potential for growth and creation. This association extends to themes of rebirth and renewal, particularly linked to the cycles of the moon and the arrival of spring. Whereas we are not. I personally am not entering spring. I know there are certain parts of the world that are, which is really cute, because regardless, that goes back to the wheel of the year and the cycles of the year, the cycles of life and death. Rabbits are also deeply connected to intuition, sensitivity, and the unseen world. As prey animals, their heightened awareness and reliance on instinct make them powerful symbols for trusting one's gut feelings and being attuned to subtle energies. That, to me, kind of ties back into that fight or flight and, like, learning how to trust yourself And I feel, again, that a lot of people just lean so heavily onto their trauma, their trigger, whatever. But at a certain point, that is now breaking your trust with yourself. And that sucks. This lunar connection also ties the rabbit to transformation and the ability to navigate life's changes with grace and agility. We talked about change earlier and how it was once perceived as a scary thing. We're not doing that anymore, right? That feeling's gonna be there, but at the forefront of our mind, we're gonna be like, it's gonna be okay, because that's what we're gonna focus on. We know what seeds we're planting. We know what we're putting our intention and manifestations into. We trust ourselves. The fight or flight, that survivalist mentality, will inevitably serve you. It serves you now, I guess. I feel like in moments it will hinder you, but I mean, at the end of the day, you've got your back. So, furthermore, the rabbit is often seen as a symbol of good luck and good fortune. Wait till I tell you what email I just got. Alright, Supervisor of Zen. Let me get back into it real quick. Zent. I think Zent in this book is parallel to Pentacles, which has to do with physical, money, finances, wealth, in the spiritual and physical sense. Here we go. Practicality, nourishment, safety, and protection. Spooky. Are we lagging just a little bit? That's okay. How are we feeling? Let me pause. Let me check my end. Let me check the outsider view. Where are we? Woo! Refresh. Try that out. I refreshed everything, kind of see what we got going on. That's okay. I don't feel like this is going to be running for much longer. We'll see. It's already going on 10:30. Wow. Time's not real, by the way. Anyway, let me know if you're still having issues. If anything, we can mingle about that. Hydrate. Make sure you're drinking water, please. I think that was really important to say. I don't know. Spirit told me to tell you to drink your water. Okay. So we're back on the Supervisor of Zen, which in supervisors are parallel to queens. Slay. And Zent is parallel to Pentacle. So we have that practicality, nourishment, safety, and protection. This flavor text is beautiful. We cannot save the world, but we can secure our house. Outside our walls, the world churns and aches with the chaos of living, but here we can find comfort and calm. Being grounded with yourself. In your home, making sure that your people are truly the people that are going to have your back. I don't even want to say that, though, because this still feels like, when you think of your house, your temple, that could be your physical house. That could physically be your circle of friends, your tribe, as they would say. Or still, too, going back to that self, taking care of you, being grounded and confident in yourself, what you're doing, where you're putting your energy, even if it's your own thoughts. What are you feeding? If you are not putting the time of day into yourself, what's the point? You're going to end up dead anyway. Nah. You have to be selfish just a little bit. And you have to be okay with being selfish just a little bit. There is a line between, like, toxic narcissism and, you know, just saying, hey, I'm setting up a boundary. Learn that. I'm doing the same thing. I'm truly learning how to speak my voice, how to set my boundaries, how to tell people, no, thank you. I don't really want to do that. And it's understanding what is in my best interest, not in what I perceive people want me to do. In a world where we have nothing but fake people telling us how to live our lives, be your most authentic self. Who gives a damn? Except for you. Love yourself. Be with yourself. The only person going in the ground at that time is going to be you. Not to get dark, I just go that way. I cannot help it. You're building your legacy right now. You know. Artists don't get acknowledged until after they're dead. What does it truly mean to be famous? What does it truly mean to be memorable? How important is that remembrance if it's spread across 50,000 people versus 3 that you truly cared about? The demons are getting me. Alright. That got intense. I feel intense about these. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's wild. That's heavy. And it is. So breathe. We can do it together right now. The only thing you have to lose is yourself. That's the gamble. Make sure you come home to you at the end of the day. You know your limitations. Don't be afraid to test that. Don't be afraid to limit test yourself. How else are you going to grow? How else are you going to learn? How else are you going to expand? If you don't, at your own will, I'm not saying like, oh, this person's doing it like this, but that is so outside my comfort zone, and then completely squander your whole idea and your dream of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Take as little steps as you feel comfortable doing, but do it. Okay? That is how you commit to yourself. That is how you commit to grounding And that is how you recalibrate everything into back to you. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. It is very difficult to articulate this right now. I'm really letting the spirits and the demons win right now. Alistair, don't look at me like that. Don't talk to me in that tone of voice. Anyway. I feel like two more and then I think we're set, because I need a push here. I think now I want to ask, all right, what is it that we can look forward to? What is something that can help push us just that little bit, just that itty bitty little bit out of our comfort zone? What kind of homework can we do? How about that? What can we take away from this and apply it to what's really happening? I appreciate everyone and anyone who decided to join in, who has been active in chat. You know, your insights truly do matter. You matter. I appreciate you. Everyone around you appreciates you just for being who you are. Everyone and anything will appreciate who you choose to become. We appreciate who you were. We appreciate you. You've come a long way. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, and I know, I get it. I truly do. Let yourself reminisce for just a second. And let's just pause and be grateful for where we are, who we are right now in this moment, and understand that you have everything in your hands and your power to do whatever you want. You have free will. If you think it's got to be done a certain way, do it. Learn, grow, expand. It's your life. Don't let anyone take that from you. Got it? Alright, I'm normal. I'm back to normal. Shit. Anything? Nothing? I wanted 2 more. Give me 2 more. Alright, thank you. Oh, fuck me, I guess. Alright. I said alright, bitch. Scary card. Yeah, no scary. But not really. Roses! Another rose! Okay, but the first card that popped out was the star, and we love her. God, look how hot that is. Oh my god. Lewd. Just a little bit. But not really. The star is always... Think about... The first thing that came to my mind was, like, the star that led the 3 wise men to Jesus. Let's get religious for a second. No, not really. Hope's Dream. She's got a... I love the laptop with the tree background. What is that, Windows? No. She... When I'm looking at this card... She's barefoot. I think she might be naked. She's probably naked. Good censorship. Her eyes are closed. She's in whatever it is that she's doing. She's feeling it. We're feeling it. You're feeling it. You're feeling it. But she's holding that star. She's looking up to that star. She's got a goal in mind. Cool. This is wild. The 9 of Arms. 9 of Swords. That is a very heavy card. That's a very heavy energy. I mean, he's undergoing some... He's chroming up, dude. And that is a painful process, and I think that's what it is. It's like we have to be... No one wants to feel pain, but we have to. And maybe coming to that realization that we're going to have to take some L's in our life hits a little heavy. And I think a lot of us... Well, I think a lot of us are really holding ourselves to such a high expectation, especially when it comes to perfectionism and overthinking. And we've got to be comfortable with losing. We really have to be. Wow. No, that hit me. That hit me a little hard. Damn. Because no matter what, you take that L, you take it as a loss, you take it as a moment to learn. At the end of the day, all we're doing is learning. There is no end game to this. Even when we die, if you believe in reincarnation, guess what? It still keeps happening. There is no end game to this. Why do we keep putting that pressure on us? Truly. For what purpose is there to have an end game? Is it old ideations that society has formed for us? Who put those in place? This is not the time. Yeah, no, I love this deck. This is a very special deck. I might get into that later. That's a very, how do I want to put it? I don't know. The way I obtained these cards is very vivid in my mind. Reach for the stars. We're bringing out the stars. Bring out your stars. Sit with yourself long enough to figure out what are your goals. What do you feel in this moment, because it can and will change, what do you want for yourself? Are you happy? Is that what you wanted? Hell yeah, bro. You did it. Keep doing it. Learn to navigate with that rabbit, the adversities of life. You know, something small might feel super heavy. I get that. Navigate that. Learn how to be so confident in yourself that you're like, you know what? At the end of the day, I know I've got me and I know it's going to be okay. It might suck right now for sure. But you hop out of that sludge. You have the choice each and every day to hop out of that sludge. Cool. That felt good. That felt really good. Let me read the flavor text for these real quick, because I am curious to know, because that was just my own interpretation of those. Hope, renewal, and belief for the star. You tell us that we're flawed, and then you sell us your solution. You force us into your mold and try to add us to your numbers, but you are wrong. We weren't born so different just to be made into the same shape by your mechanical men. We've seen beyond your lies, and we know that without your way, we'll shine all the brighter. Oh my god. I want to cry. That truly makes me want to cry right now. That's powerful. Alright, 9 of Arms. Nightmares, anxiety, depression, torment, worry. Sheesh. So very different to this. Let's see. Experiment XX0-137 continues to prove interesting. A human consciousness cloned into a robotic body. We can tell all manner of responses without harming the shell. With this testing, we can induce dream states, pain, pleasure, you name it, gentlemen. We can surely learn a lot from this iteration of its consciousness. Whoa. A human consciousness... We're human. That's it. We're human. Be human. Allow yourself to be human. Something feels amiss with this, though. There's something out of that that I'm not grabbing. When in doubt, whip them out. I really think that that just kind of delves deeper into that take your losses. Again, those feelings, those worries, those nightmares, those are human. We are human. We're not robots. We're not meant to become anything in particular outside of what we want to. Someone says, "Oh, you need to shoot higher. You need to blah blah blah." What if you don't want to? Don't feel guilty for that. Don't feel guilty for what you want. How about that? Don't feel guilty for who you want to be, what you want to be. Don't feel guilty for who you are even in this moment. How about that? I need to practice what I preach. Okay. Alright. I hear you. Beautiful. Here we go again. Honestly, what a great counterpart, because we pulled her last time too. Hang on, let me adjust my glasses. The Nine of Vials is the Nine of Cups. That is a very self-sufficient card. I know she represents like that entrepreneurship, that, honey, you ain't gotta worry down here. Very maternal, very, not even just maternal, but just very a safe place to go to. In their power. She knows what kind of power, they know what kind of power that they have. They know what they can offer. They don't need anyone else telling them how to act or behave or what to be. At the end of the day, be this lady. She knows what she's doing. You know what you're doing. Act like it. And even when you don't know what you're doing, I feel like even subconsciously in the back of the head, you already know. Trust yourself. For once. Learn to trust yourself. Step back into that power. There are going to be times that you do something that you don't quite understand. Trust it anyways. Within reason. I will put that disclaimer out there. How about that? You're allowed to have free will, but you also have morals. Right? Tell me, just say yes. Let yourself kind of shed. Let yourself bury yourself raw and be vulnerable. Sit with yourself, kind of hermit if you need to. Really filter what it is you're allowing into your life right now. And just be cautious. Tread carefully. You know, you do you. If you feel like taking gambles, taking risks, then maybe that's what we're asking of you. Only you know. Only you know how to live your life. It's your life. Sheesh. That was heavy. Everything was coherent, though. Everything was so clear cut. I don't really have much else to say beyond that. Truly. And I'm going to try to take everything that I said to you today, and I'm going to try to implement that into how I see fit for my own life. That's why we're here. This is collective. This is the energy read. This is where we are right now. If you do, anyone who's watching, listening, etc., if you would like a personal reading, I do have contact information in the description of the video. I am more than willing to offer guidance if that's what you're wanting, bullshit chatting if that's what you're wanting. I am here for you. Okay? Just let me know. That's the first step. You just gotta let me know what it is you need. The Midnight Coated is wild. Where's my Baja Blast? I don't... I'll get it. I'll get it one day. I could have got it last night. I did go to Taco Bell yesterday, I won't lie. I needed it. It was one of the best crunch wraps I've ever had in my life. That's all I wanted. That's all my heart needed. Feels good. Feels real good right now. I'm glad I could share this with you guys. Truly, honestly. I'm glad you showed up today. I'm glad you're showing up for yourself today. Let's do a little bit of cleanse. Let's let some stuff on fire. Let's really cleanse this. Let's cleanse this space again. Come back to yourself for a minute. Breathe. Drink some water. Get your energy back up. Reset for the day if you need to. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. We're going to really think about what we're doing right now. With gusto. Feeling very invigorated. Whoa, what the helly? Alright. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me today. I'm gonna go ahead and slide on over to the boom. We can mingle for a bit if you want. Not much else I'm doing. Hit me up. I hope things go well for you today. I hope you get one piece of good information. Encounters with rabbits, such as one crossing your path, are generally interpreted as meaningful signs to pay attention to your current circumstances, embrace change, and be ready to act on opportunities. These encounters can be a nudge to overcome fear, trust your intuition, and recognize the abundance and creative energy flowing into your life. Rabbit is good, rabbit is wise. Alright, I'm normal again. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. I will be streaming here momentarily in the next couple of hours. Probably not Katamari, let's be real. I don't even know if it's going to be Okami. It'll be a surprise. A gift even for you. We'll see how we're feeling. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Meh. Maybe I'll go touch some grass. Maybe I'll sit and touch some grass. Maybe I'll see a rabbit outside. Maybe I'll find my cat. Alright. Oh, it always sucks when I hit that end stream button, but I know it has to happen. I know. We gotta get back to it. Enjoy your day, friends. Talk to you later.